This video will show you how to use the date and time pickers in WeWeb. The first thing you'll want to do is go to the Add menu and look for pickers. So let's drag and drop the date picker. First thing you'll notice is when you drag and drop it, it creates a variable, a date picker value variable. So when you're on this date picker, what you can do is, let's first look at the visualization format. So you see here it's a year, month, and day. You can change that really simply, saying, for example, year, day, and month. If you wanted to. You can get rid of the time here if you want to. Or you can display it in different ways. This is where you can change the visualization format. You can also choose to display the date picker on hover or when the user clicks on it, or you can choose to make it always visible, which is what I'll show you for the purpose of the tutorial, so it's easier to show you things. Here you can enable selecting a time or not. Or you can make it into selecting only the time. And this is basically if you want to go faster, instead of choosing the date picker and changing the settings here, you could just drag and drop the time picker on the page. It will be the same element, but with these presets, and it will work exactly the same. So that's something you can do. Now back to our date picker mode with the time picker. You can change the initial value. You can set that to be today, for example, and you can change the design. So here it's gray. You can turn it into orange. You can choose dark mode. You can display, let's say 2 month by 3 month. So you can change the way the calendar is displayed. Here you see it's in French. You can actually change that as well. The reason it's in French here is because here, by default, the page is in French, but you see here we have 3 other languages. We have English and Spanish. So we can actually change the language and make it, English, so it's the language of the page. We can bind the language of the page as well to the current page language here if we wanted to. So that's how the date picker works. You have this variable here. Now let's add the date range picker, and the time picker works exactly the same. So let's the date picker and the time picker work exactly the same. So I'll show you the range date picker separately. So the range date picker allows the user to select a range of dates. So if I go into preview mode, you see here that I can, the user can, let me get rid of the date picker actually, it'll be nicer. So here in preview mode, I can select a range of dates. And when I do this, it will update the start value here and the end value here. So when you drag and drop the range date picker, it will create 2 variables that will update based on user interaction. The settings are similar to the date and time pickers. You have hover, always visible, on click. You could here you can turn it into a simple date picker. You can turn it into the time picker as well. You can change the language. So very similar. You can change the visualization format. So let's make it always visible and show you a few. Here again, you can choose to change this. Now, usually with a date picker or a range date picker, what you'll want is to update a collection. So let's say, for example, you have a list of apartments that are available between certain dates, but maybe they're available, from the 9th to the 12th of June, but they're not available at other times. Based on what dates the user selects, you will want to display the available rentals or not. as an example. So what you would do then is you would have on your collection on the backend side, you would have filters based on the date, and how you would send the date information to your backend would be through those two variables, the start date and the end date. And how would you update those variables? How would you refetch the collection based on those variables? You would, on the range date picker, you would add a workflow that is on change. So when the user makes a change, you could refetch fetch the collection again and choose which collection you wanted to refetch based on those start and end dates. All right, that's how the date and time pickers work in WeWeb. If anything is unclear, do not hesitate to let us know.